Hi. In the first three lessons, we were thinking about the note C, middle C in particular. And remember, we said that this note here is middle C. Then in lesson 4, we were learning about a new note called D. And here's D. Remember, it's just one above middle C, one to the right of C on the keyboard. So this is middle C, and the note just one step to the right on the white keys is D. And we were saying that we're going to try and play middle C with our thumb, and then we're going to play D with finger number 2, the finger next door to the thumb. Now, in this lesson, we're going to learn a third note, and it's the next note up. We've had C, then we've had D, so if it's the next note up, it must be the next letter in the alphabet. So have a think, what comes after D? A, B, C, D, E. So here's E. Now, we learned in a lesson some time ago that these 5 lines of music are called the stave. Remember, it's always 5 lines of music, and they're called the stave. And we discovered that C is on this extra little line beneath the stave. We learned in the last lesson that D is sitting in this space just underneath the stave, and now our new note E is actually in the middle of the bottom line of the stave. So we're learning about E. We're also learning that the bottom line of the stave is always E. So have a good look at these 3 notes, because we need to be very clear what the difference is between them. So here's C with that line through it. Here's D in the space just underneath that bottom line of the stave. And here's E, which is sitting bang in the middle of that bottom line of the stave. Now then, you might well be able to work out where E is on the keyboard, after all we've said before. If this note's C, and if the note just next door to the right is D, and E is the next letter in the alphabet, then E must be the next note to the right, which is there. So C, D, and now the new note, E. And you also might have worked out that if we're going to play C with a thumb, and we're going to play D with finger number 2, then we're going to play E with finger number 3. So number 1 for C, number 2 for D, and number 3 for E. And again, before we get playing the piece, you might just want to get used to your fingers on the keys moving between those notes. So see if you can play C with your thumb, and then see if you can find D next door with finger number 2, and then see if you can move on to E next door to that with finger number 3. Now, some people find at first it's a little bit difficult to get one finger down before you've lifted the last finger. So some people might be playing this. They might be playing C, they might be adding D to it, and then they might be adding E to it. But you can hear what happens, and you can see on the screen what happens. We've now got all 3 notes going down at the same time. So try to go from C very smoothly to D, so there's no gap in between, but we're exchanging C for D. Then try to go from D to E very smoothly, so we're exchanging D for E without those notes running into each other, or without doing this, where we play C, have a gap, play D, have a gap, play E. So we're just trying to exchange C for D, and then we're exchanging D for E. And you can practice doing that going down from E back to C. So here's E, let's have a lovely clean smooth exchange going to D, and then another lovely clean smooth exchange going down to C. So you can go up, C, D, E, and you can come down E, D, C. You can then try muddling up the order of the notes. Can you go from E to C, and then maybe to D? Or can you go from D to E, and then back down to C again? So you just get used to those fingers, 1, 2, 3, working on those 3 notes. One thing just to have a little think about at this stage as well is the fact that you don't need to press on the keys. Some people, by the time they've got 3 notes going, they're concentrating so hard that they're really pressing down on the keys. And actually that's just going to make your wrists hurt, and it's not going to make for a very good habit, because later on when we want to play faster notes, we need to be very relaxed. So you don't have to press on the key, but you just have to put enough pressure on the key to get the note to sound. If you're playing on a piano, then you'll find that the hammers are coming up to hit the strings, and you just need enough pressure to get the hammer to come up and hit the strings. So you don't need to press. If you press on the bottom of the note, it doesn't really add anything that's useful. It just makes your hand hurt. So try to keep a really kind of clear movement between fingers 1, 2 and 3, but without pressing on the keys, and you'll soon get the hang of how that feels and how it sounds and what it looks like. Okay, now here's today's piece where we're going to use C, D and E. So let's just get used to these new notes, these E's that appear in this piece, by going through the piece, and we're just going to tell ourselves what the notes are called. So I'll go through it and you try and call out the names of the notes, and let's see if we agree with each other. So the first note's C, then we go up 1 to D, then we go up 1 again to E, and then you'll notice that E repeats, so it's E again. Then it comes down 1 to D, and it comes down 1 to C, then it goes up 1 to D. And then we go up 1 to E, down 1 to D, down 1 to C. And then we have a little jump here, don't we? Because we miss out D and we jump straight up to E before we come down 1 to D. And then we're going to do D again, and then we're going to finish on C. So quite a good idea just to get used to reading those letters and being entirely sure what C, D and E actually look like on the music. Okay, well now we've worked out the letter names of the notes, let's think about the rhythm. The rhythm is the counting of the beats that we've been learning about. Now in this piece you can see that we've got a mixture of minims, these notes that have got stems on them but they're not coloured in, so they're the minims, and the minims have got 2 beats, remember. And we've also got semibrieves. We've got 1 semibreve here, and we've another semibreve right at the end. And we learnt all the way back in lesson 1 that the semibreve has got 4 beats. Remember, this is the round note that has no stem on it. It's just a round note. So that's always 4 beats per semibreve. So let's see if we can now clap the rhythm of this piece. Okay, I'll count 4 for nothing, and then we'll see if we can actually clap these minims and semibreves. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I wonder how you got on clapping the rhythm. Again, if it went wrong, that doesn't matter at all. Just rewind the film and just have another go at doing that until you get very comfortable about clapping the rhythm. Now, if you're feeling very sure that you've got these notes, the C's, the D's and the E's sorted out, and you've got the counting, the rhythm sorted out, then you're probably ready to have a go at playing the piece. So let's get ourselves ready. Let's think about how we're sitting. We want to sit up straight. We don't want to be sort of uncomfortably straight, but we want to sit quite tall and be relaxed. And those shoulders, you could just roll the shoulders and just make sure they're nice and relaxed. When you bring your hand up, make sure the shoulder doesn't come up with the hand, but keep the shoulder relaxed. And then make sure your elbow's nice and free and that your wrist is nice and floppy and your fingers are just kind of sort of dangling from your wrist like that. And then take that position to the keys, put your thumb on the C, remember, make sure finger number 2 is over D, and make sure finger number 3 is over E. The other 2 fingers should just sit comfortably on the 2 keys that we're going to learn about in a few lessons' time. But now we're going to deal with fingers 1, 2 and 3 on C, D and E. I'm going to count us in. Let's see how we get on playing the piece. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, one thing you might have noticed is that I was keeping my eyes on the music all the way through. I didn't look at my fingers once when I was playing that. And if you can be brave enough to do that as well, that will be really good. Because you'll remember in the last lesson we were saying that if your eyes are going between your fingers and the music, all that happens is you get lost. So try to keep your eyes on the music, reading all these notes, and try to let your fingers find the notes on the keys. Well, again, you can replay that as many times as you want to until you get that tune going really well. And then when you think you've got it sorted, you'll be ready to move on to today's duet. So let's play the piece. You play your part, I'll play mine. Here's 4 for nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I hope you enjoyed playing that piece. It's starting to get a little bit more interesting now that we've got 3 notes on the go. And because there are 3 notes on the go, it's much easier to make a mistake. So don't worry if you played a D instead of an E or you've made some other mistake. Just have another go, keep practicing it until you feel really comfortable about it. And this is going to get you into good habits for practice as well. Practice counting the rhythm, clapping the rhythm. Practice saying the names of the notes. Then put those 2 things together at the keyboard and keep playing it over and over again until you've got it absolutely perfectly sorted out, and then you can enjoy playing the duet. In the second part of this lesson, we're going to look at the tune that we've just been learning, and we're going to change the rhythm of it. So the notes, the letter names, are just the same as they were in the last tune, but we're going to do slightly different counting. And you'll remember a couple of lessons ago we started talking about some different rhythms, and then we went on to think about the dotted minim in the last lesson. And we've got the dotted minim back with us again. There it is, and here it is again at the end. So this piece again is a mixture of crotchets that are worth 1 beat and minims that are worth 2 beats and dotted minims that are worth 3 beats. But the C's, the D's and the E's are just the same and in the same place as they were in the last tune. So let's start by seeing if we can get the rhythm sorted out. I'll count 3 for nothing and then we'll try and clap our way through the rhythm. So you join in with me. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, Again, as we've said before, feel free to replay that part of the lesson until you're very happy with clapping that rhythm. And then we're going to try playing it. Okay, so I'll count 3 for nothing and we'll see if we can play these notes. All set then? So make sure your fingers are on the keyboard or the piano in exactly the right place. You've found middle C, you've got that nice relaxed shoulder, elbows are free, the wrist is nice and free, droopy hand, remember? And you're trying to play on your fingertips, remember, for the D's and the E's, and the side of your thumb for the C. When you play the C's, remember not to lock your thumb in there or to push it out, but just to keep it nicely relaxed in the middle there. Okay, so after 3, here comes this piece. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, just in case you are having some trouble with the letter names of the notes, we're going to do that again, and this time instead of counting the beats, I'm going to call out the letter names just to make sure we've got that entirely happy. So have another go. I'll count 3 and then I'll call the letter names. 1, 2, 3. C, D, E. E, D, C, D. E, D, C. E, D, D, C. Okay. Now, when you're completely sure about the rhythm, the counting, and you're happy about the notes, the C's, the D's, and the E's, we'll have a go at playing a duet again. So here we are, all set for the first note then. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So now you've got 2 pieces you can play using those 3 notes, C, D and E. And you should be feeling a bit more confident about playing with semi-breves worth 4 beats, minims worth 2 beats, and crotchets worth 1 beat, as well as getting some practice in this dotted minim that's got 3 beats. So have fun with everything we've learnt so far, and when you think you've got all that entirely under your fingers, come back for lesson 6.